Yo, what's up? It's Money Kong, and today we're talking about why you need to start a business as a teen. Let's get into it.
How much you pay for rent here? I know it's kind of personal.
I'm paying $1,200.
There you go. Oh, that's for your next rent payment. Yeah.
When I say safety net, here's what I mean. Most of you don't have rent to pay and don't have a family to support. And you're probably not covering your parents' mortgage either. You're likely living at home, and worst case scenario, you fail, and what happens? Nothing. You're still eating dinner at home and sleeping in your bed. Compare that to starting a business at 30 years old, when you have a house, car payments, maybe a family. Suddenly, failure is a lot more expensive. Right now, failure is just a lesson.
700.
Good call. Look at that. Would you look at that? Good job, my dear.
That's why you should take the risk now. Fear of failure stops so many people from starting. But when you're young, failing isn't a big deal. In fact, it's one of the best things that can happen to you because you'll learn more from messing up than you ever will from just planning or thinking about it. Mess up, adjust, and keep moving forward.
Chet McAllister. I'm in finance. So you know what that means? My father and I definitely have a great relationship.
So let's talk about the ages, from like 15 to like 25. These are the years, when you can take the biggest risk. Why? Because you're still young enough that you don't have massive financial commitments. Some of you might be in college, some, might be working, but either way, you don't have a mortgage or kids to feed yet. That's your advantage. And if you're starting now and things blow up, you're way ahead of the game. If it fails, well, you've got time to regroup and figure out what's next. It's a win-win either way. But here's the thing. Most of you are probably waiting for the perfect business idea to drop into your lap, right? Let me tell you something. You're going to be waiting a long time. There's no such thing as the perfect idea or the perfect time. The people who succeed aren't the ones with the most genius ideas. They're the ones who actually start. Take action. Even if your idea isn't groundbreaking, you'll learn more by doing than by sitting around waiting.
Pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. Sheesh.
Here's another tip. Your business doesn't have to be flashy or cool. Most businesses that make real money are boring. There's, businesses like lawn care, cleaning services, or selling stuff online. It doesn't have to be glamorous. It just has to work. When I started, my landscaping business, Season Sweepers, it wasn't some revolutionary idea. I just saw a need for it in my area, and it wasn't the coolest thing, but it made money, and that's what matters. Don't get me wrong. I made mistakes along the way. When I started, I didn't even have reliable transportation. I'd ask my dad to drive me to clients, and there were days when I literally towed my leaf blower with my electric scooter. It wasn't ideal, but when my scooter broke, things got even harder. But the point is, I didn't stop. I adjusted and figured out ways around the challenges. You're gonna hit roadblocks, expect that, but don't let them stop you from pushing forward. Now, not everyone has access to a car or reliable transportation when you're just starting out as a teen, and that's fine. You can start an online business, sell products on eBay, start an e-commerce store, or offer services like graphic design, video editing, or tutoring. Wherever it is, just make sure it's something you're actually good at. Starting a business around something you're terrible at is just asking for failure. Play to your strengths. One thing I want to stress. You've got to start somewhere. It doesn't matter if your first business is mowing lawns, flipping clothes, or starting a YouTube channel. The first one might not even be your long-term goal, but you'll learn a ton about running a business just by starting. You'll figure out what works and what doesn't and what you actually enjoy doing. And that's valuable info for when you decide to go bigger later on. So just start. Starting a business also teaches you real skills that you don't get from sitting in a classroom. Things like managing money, negotiating, and handling customers. Also, problem solving. These are things you'll need in any career, whether you're with business or not. Plus, by starting young, you're setting yourself up miles ahead of your peers by the time you hit 25 or 30. Most people will still be figuring out their lives, while you're already got experience under your belt.
All right, nerd. You called me out here. Now tell me what you want. You want me to teach you how to be cool like me? That's a tall order.
Let's talk about another thing. Fear of judgment. A lot of teens are scared to start something because they're worried about what others think about them. Like friends or classmates will think. Here's a reality check. Most of these people aren't gonna matter in 5 to 10 years. They're not paying your bills, they're not building your future, so who cares what they think? You're in it for your growth, not their approval. Here's the hard truth. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. When you're 16, 17, 18, you've got energy and time and fewer responsibilities. The older you get, the more those responsibilities pile up. Waiting doesn't make starting a business easier, it just makes it harder. So if you've been sitting around waiting for the right time, stop. The right time is now. Start something, anything, and learn as you go. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, but I don't have a cool idea yet. Forget about having a cool idea. Most successful businesses are simple. They solve everyday problems. Find something people need and figure out how to offer it. That could be mowing lawns, doing freelance work, selling products online. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you get started. You can refine and grow your business as you learn more.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better.
So here's what I want you to take away from this. You've got the best opportunity right now. You're young and don't have massive responsibilities. You've got time to fail and try again. If you mess up, who cares? You're learning. If you wait until you're older, that safety net won't be there. So stop waiting. Stop overthinking and just start. Even if you're starting small, it's better than not starting at all. Trust me, years from now, you'll either look back and be glad you took action or you'll regret not doing anything. You've got nothing to lose right now. Take advantage of it. Make mistakes, learn from them, and keep pushing forward because the only thing worse than failing is not trying at all. Most people, right, when they are on their deathbed, the number one thing that they regret is not chasing their dreams. That's the number one thing they regret, is taking more risk. So don't be like them. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to be perfect. I say a lot of these things and sometimes I don't even do them myself. But I try to, though. The one thing you should always do is try. I try to do these things. I try to achieve my dreams. Just try, Don't have to be perfect. Sometimes I'm lazy. Actually, most of the time. That's my number one problem is procrastination. I always procrastinate. I don't know why. It's the one thing I struggle on the most is consistency. I'm a very bursty person. I do things a lot one day. The next day I do nothing. So, you don't have to be perfect. Just have to try.